People have expressed concerns about financial accountability, citing tax increases and projects that have gone over budget. What's your plan for financial accountability and ensuring you uphold your fiduciary duties?
I think accountability is a team sport, meaning that when I sit into office, I am one vote, right? And what I would like to see, and what I'm asking when I am going out and asking for my constituents' vote, is that, hey, when you go in November 7th and you vote for Kimberly Haas, it does not end there. I need you to come to the meetings, the planning and zoning meetings. I need you to come to some of the tourists and historical meetings. I need you to be involved. If you can get served on some of these committees, I want you to be involved in these meetings. So when things come across, you can understand and hold your elected official accountable. And if they are not serving in the capacity that you originally voted them into office on the campaign promises they made, then it's time to reelect someone else. I also believe that after someone has been sitting in the seat consecutively, you should have someone running for that position. I don't think that any elected official should feel comfortable enough to not think that it is a privilege and an honor to serve their constituents. And they are there to represent their constituents. And so I believe that it's not only my responsibility, but it's all of our responsibility to uphold the ethics of the person who is sitting in that elected space and seat.
Yeah, well, that's basic to why we're here. And I'll say this: I have a financial background. That's my background was in high tech finance. So I know the financial background. I know audits. I know accounting. I know those. So I'm going to lend that experience into the city. I've said at the very beginning, I'm the candidate of audit. Now, I think I scared a few people at the staff level, and even I think the mayor kind of blinked at that a little bit too. I don't mean audit in a bad way. I mean audit in a good way, because I've made this joke, and please take this tongue in cheek. If I get in there, when I get under the covers, as I say, and I'll have full eyes and availability on everything, then I want to see what's going on. If I look at the finance, I'm talking long term. Are our pensions fully funded? Or from a retirement perspective, because our employees do not leave. They have a quality of life in the work world as well as as the citizens do in the live, work, play. If we're in great shape financially, then I get prop my feet up on the dais and relax for 4 years. Obviously, that's a joke, of course. And if not, how can I help give creative solutions and lend my experience to be sure that we solve that? Let me say this too. There's based on that question, I heard increased taxes. That's the thing. I come back up. Be sure you're an educated consumer. So, for example, you haven't really had increased taxes, because as a resident here, you've only had one tax increase in the last decade. Now, people are going to say, but wait a minute, my property values are shooting through the roof. Yeah, but don't forget, floating homestead. Now, I don't have time to go through all that on that, but remember, go do research of floating homestead. When your property value goes up, your homestead floats up with that property value. If you look at your property taxes in the city of Acworth this year, after your property values went up so much, and you look, they're the exact same thing they were last year. So educate yourself on that. Now, here's the thing. You look at that and say, well, wait a minute, what if I come in and buy a new home? Well, if somebody new comes in and buys a new home, yes, they're paying the tax rate based on that cost of the home. But you know what? The people that have lived here a very, very long time, they've been paying for infrastructure and the different things that we've had for a very, very long time. So the newcomer comes in, it's kind of like a catch-up fee, if you will. So just be sure from that perspective, be an educated, again, consumer, and understand how the taxes work. Come back in full circle. Fiduciary, I got it. I mean, that's what I do. So I am going to do the best. And I'm spending my tax dollars as well. So I understand it.
So back to the thing, we all understand trying to balance the budget. The city of Ackworth has had a balanced budget for years. We can't even get our federal government in certain areas to be balanced. So the fact that our city can balance their budget and actually stay as a city under budget is something that I'm very proud of, to say that I live in this town. So as we look at financial accountability, how do we do that? And that's by keeping open records. That's by making sure that all of our stuff is available online, or just walking into City Hall and being able to look. Now, how do you control the aspects of a budget whenever you're working on different projects? The cost of everything has been going up since COVID. We're gradually seeing a kind of a correction of that market. So hopefully we'll see things that'll get back to where it's more affordable. But that's the reason we've even seen a decrease in some of our home remodeling. It's because the cost of everything has just gone up. So for financial accountability, how do we do that? We make sure that we have all of our records available. We have all of our budgets available, which they are now. We make sure that we can show people that this is actually what's happening. And as we look at our budget and looking at our financial books, being able to be proud of the fact that our city has won awards for having the best books and being balanced. And so that's something that we should be proud of. And there's nothing to change. We need to maintain that. If anything, we need to encourage more and more people to come in and look, because the more they look, the less questions they have, the less fear they have of the unknown.
Well, first thing I would like to do if I'm elected is to look at the line items in the budget. I want to see where all the money's at, where's it going, and see what's budgeted for what departments. I know that the largest department we have here is the Public Works Department, and we want to make sure that every dollar that goes to that department is accounted for. We want to make sure that it is spent wisely. We need to do that for every department. We need to make sure that all money is accounted for, and before any tax raises go into effect, we definitely need to look, because right now we're at a 40% inflation, 40-year high in inflation. And when the citizens are suffering and we're having to tighten our belt, I think the city should have to tighten theirs as well. And so we definitely need to take a deep dive into that budget and see where all the money is. I want an accounting of all the money. Where's it at and how's it being spent, so that we can better utilize what we do have for the projects that are in the most need.